morning and happy Friday to you. It's Friday's live trading, hopefully. This is Charlie giving you Friday's live trading video. We're just looking at the markets at the moment. It's 7:45. So the euro's just coming off a little bit at the moment, but it's obviously been coming up over since yesterday afternoon. We were actually short yesterday in the trading room here yesterday. Took some partial profits down here, then it took out the last part of the trade when it retraced back up. So I'm still leaning towards the downside, but anyway, we'll come into that and we'll have a look at that later on. So I'll press pause for now. Yeah. Okay, it's now just 8:10. So the euro's coming up, bouncing a bit here. Let's have a look at the pound and the other markets. So we've been trading a few markets this week. We've been trading New Zealand dollar, dollar CAD, not just euro. But yeah, so the pound's up as well. Now the problem I have with these markets is that they're all below their daily 50s. Okay, so the pound's got a little bit of a distance to go to get to its daily 50, but the euro is just sitting underneath its one, and the Kiwi is sitting below its one. So all these markets below against the dollar are sitting below these daily 50s, and because we had these lovely seller candles just earlier this week, it's sort of still making me think of these just retracements from this seller candle. Now, of course, I can be wrong on this, and that the market may well be wanting to break out so against the dollar. So in fact, that yes, maybe all of these are going to want to break out, but I can't get involved in that this morning. So if the euro and the pound, on the hourly chart, they all look absolutely fine. But I do multiple time frame analysis. I don't just look at intraday charts. If I just looked at intraday charts, I'd be looking to get on the long side here, or I already would have been on this pullback. But my overall view is that we're against or at resistance, and so therefore the risk is of reversals. So I'm not going to be chasing this market to the upside. If anything, the euro dollar could easily want to breach these highs to take out any orders that might be sitting above these highs, as we've got three attempts up there, but that's not the side of the market I want to be on. And you have to, as a trader, be confident enough in your own ability to be able to sit back and not get into a trade if it goes against your analysis. So if the euro dollar starts coming up here this morning, I'm not going to chase it. It's just because at any time it could still roll back off. And if I did get in, then and it rolled back off, what am I going to do? I'm going to kick myself for taking the trade. So you always want to be taking trades that you don't have regrets about afterwards. You shouldn't have regret. You should, every trade, doesn't matter if it's a loser, as long as it's in line with your analysis and your strategies, then that's a good trade. Losing trades are not bad trades. So yeah, so if we come up here today, I'll likely be sitting it out because the markets are just at the moment all around their daily 50s, and I can't justify doing anything with those. So I'm hoping that we're going to actually roll over, because if we do start to roll over, then I can at least justify that a trade on the short side. We'll see how we get on. I'll press pause for now. Okay, just back here, and we're just after 9 o'clock, and we can see that the euro's had a lovely move to the upside. Unfortunately, as I've already said, I've set my stall out here today, so I can't get involved in it. But I was just saying to the guys in the trading room here that we got momentum up across the board. This, in a different circumstance, I'd be all over this like a hot rash. But it doesn't sit because of the resistance on the daily chart. I've just got to leave it. So I'm just going to have to. For many people, they'll be buying this, of course, but I've just got to stand aside and say, oh well, it's not going to be for me today, because I can't go against my own analysis. So it does mean that if the euro carries on going and powers up, I just miss out today. But I'd rather, as I already said, I'd rather miss out than jump in just because of the price action here and then regret it if it did then roll over. So I'm just going to have to, but certainly from a technical perspective, as it stands, this looks very encouraging. for it to go out and break out actually above these highs. It looks very, very encouraging at the moment. So anyway, we'll keep monitoring and we'll come back. Yeah. Okay, just back, and this morning, I can't remember what I was saying this morning because it's now nearly 1 o'clock. And although we have had a nice run here, look, on the euro dollar, but that wasn't for me. As I probably was saying this morning, if it does go up, it's going to have to go up without me, and that was the case. And I think that this is a really important point as a trader. You don't need to try and be in on every move. That's a beginner's trader's mindset, that they feel that they're missing out and they've got to be in and chase a move. You just do your analysis, and then you try and trade your analysis. And if something's going against your analysis, of course, there's always the ability. You have to allow the ability to change your analysis, but only if certain conditions are met. And the euro-dollar hadn't met those conditions as it was going up there. Now it has got up to these prior highs, and the daily 50 up here. The potential is there for a big breakout. There is there, because we had the rejection a few days ago. So I was leaning to the downside, generally speaking, because of this rejection bar. But we've come all the way back up to it. Doesn't need to come back up to it. So the potential is there for a breakout. Now, if the euro breaks out, sorry, let's go back to the daily chart here. Then of course there's an open door to coming well up into the 118s. Okay, fair enough. But of course it's not always easy buying around prior highs. It's not always easy either, because markets can get a bit spiky and play around with you. So what I may be doing is actually switching across to cable, to the pound dollar, the pungy dungy, as I always used to call it many years ago. 20 years ago we used to call it the pungy dungy. And don't even ask me what I used to call the S&P. I'll leave that one for you to think about. Anyway, so the pound dollar, it's when I come to the daily chart, it's not got to its daily 50 yet. So could it be that on the daily chart, now that maybe as the other markets have held up strong today, and the pound has been a bit of a laggard, but it doesn't mean to say that it doesn't play catch up. It so often happens, you see these swings between markets during the course of a day. So just because it's been a laggard this morning doesn't mean to say it won't catch up this afternoon. And it's got a very small range day here so far today. So I'm sensing a move coming this afternoon, whether it's to the upside or maybe to the downside, but I'm sensing a bit of a move because it's a very small range day. It could maintain a small and remain a small range day, but considering this is way down on its normal average range, there is that pent up potential there for the pound to expand its range. Now, so the way I'm looking at this is, if the euro dollar is going to break out, maybe I don't have to buy that euro dollar, because maybe on the pound dollar, if it starts coming up a bit here, we get up into probably the 129.60s. I may well be sniffing around for an entry to see if we can have a run up at least to these highs here, up at 129.90, and then we'll see beyond that whether it can have a little bit more legs towards the big round number at 130. So there's some scope building here. So I'm going to press pause for now. We're 8 minutes in and I haven't done a single trade, but I'll press pause and see where we get to. Okay, just back, and finally the pound is coming up. So looking to what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip my toe in the water with a half-size position, then add to it on the completion of that candle there. So there's the 15, the 30-minute chart, and the 5-minute chart. So I'm going to go in here at 60, and the reason I'm putting that half in is just because I'm just testing the water, just to see if it can hold up. If it holds up into the end of the hour, we're at 148. So long with half a position size, guys, here on the pound dollar with a 30 pip stop. So I'm just going to get that stop loss put in. So let's just do that. So I've just gone long with half the position size. If I'm wrong and this is just a bit of volatility and it comes straight off, I'll just get a stop out with half a position size. So let me just put the stop loss in. I got in at about 60, didn't I? Yeah, 60 bang on the dot. So 129.30 then, which is basically the low of this candle. That's what I wanted. 129.30, 1.2930. So I've dipped my toe in the water. Just in case, and the reason I've done this is because sometimes the market will just explode and then you're waiting for the close of a candle and it's gone and the train's left the station. So I've put a half position size in for that reason. I'll add to it once I see if this strength continues and can hold. The euro dollar's up. That's up at 118.08. So that's back up at its highs for the day. What I'm looking for is, like I said earlier on the video, is this potential for the pound dollar to have a bit of a run. So I've got a 30 pip stop with the potential to run this to, well, like I said, to 129 to 130. So it'd be just a bit over a 1-to-1 risk reward. But and then if I get the extra position in, then I could even be looking to run that extra part of the position beyond 130. Okay, so the long is set. I'm just waiting until the end of the hour. Got 10 minutes to go, and then I'll get the next one in. Right, go. Right, I've just realised my stop calculation was slightly wrong. So the pound's still having a nice little run here. We've still got 4 minutes to go. I thought the stop needed to be right down at 129.30. The low of this candle, as you can see here on the 30-minute chart, is actually at 129.36 or 7. So I'm going to move the stop up to 129.35 already. So let's just do that. Let's bring it up. So I'm actually moving that up to 129.35. So I'm going to be looking to get that second entry in. Can you see exactly what I've said? Why I put that first entry in at 129.60, just in case it carries on going and then you're sitting waiting for the confirmation at the end of the hour and then it's already flown. So at least I'm in with something, and hopefully I can still get the other entry in, but at least I've got one entry down here at 60, even if I'm going to have to pay up on my second entry. There we go. Right, let's press pause. We'll come back at the end of the hour video. Okay, we're going to get the second entry in. We've closed that candle nice and strong, so I'm not going to mess around. Second entry is at 66. The stop's going to be at 35, so we're on about 30 pips, roughly 31 pips on that second half. That's about it. So it's a one-lot trade overall on this pound dollar here this afternoon. I think it's slightly undersized, but that'll do. So I'm just going to bring the stop loss up for the second half. So let's just put that in 129.35. There we go. Okay, so we've got the two units in. One at 60 and one at 66. So now just all we've got to do is sit back and wait and see if we're going to get this breakout here on the pound this afternoon. Hopefully it's not just noise. Let's go back out to that hourly chart so you can sort of see what's going on. Lovely big bar up here. I'd love to see this breakout. Might have a think about it for a while before going higher, but it'd be nice to see that break. Now if we go to the euro dollar, has indeed broken out a bit more here today. We've already got the Kiwi breaking up. So these other markets, look at that. Kiwi's just had a lovely run there. So we are seeing, same with the Aussie dollar as well, we are seeing these other markets having these breaks as they have done. So I'm now just looking at this pound dollar and seeing if it can play a little bit of catch up with those others. We'll press pause for now. Okay, just back. Cable's having to think about it at the moment. I've just got a pop out actually to the chemist. So I'm just putting a take profit order in on the entry that I got in at 60, that first entry, just a take profit at 95, 129.95. So let's get that in. So that's coming up just up here, right into these prior highs as well, and then we'll look for more out of the second half if it can obviously get up there. So I'm putting that limit order in because I might just be out if it did have a flyer. Not that I'm going to be gone that long, but just in case it had a bit of a flyer, I've put that limit order in on that first. What we're looking for the second one is somewhere up around about 130.20 because the daily 50, remember, is up at 130.24, 25 even. So just a little bit ahead of that. So that's what I'm up to with that. So it's not great risk rewards ratios here today. Earlier on this week, we've had a decent trading week in the room here. We've had a couple of sort of close to 3-to-1s risk rewards this week. So it's nice when you can get those out of these sort of trades. But this one just isn't going to be that type of trade because of where we've had to place our stop. But nevertheless, it'll be a bit over 1-to-1 on collectively. We'll see. So I'm going to press pause. We're back in a while. The video. Okay, just back here, and so I'm back from the chemist, and I don't know why I'm telling you all that. Trying to get a flu jab because I'm asthmatic. I have to have a flu jab every year, and so couldn't get one from a chemist, so phoned the doctors. Why didn't I think of that in the first place? So So yeah, so we're sort of holding around. It just feels like it's slowed a little bit. If I take this down to a 5 minute chart so we can see it in smaller time frame here, it looks like while I was gone, had a bit of a pullback, and it's come back up again, and now we're just sort of sitting around. We're still seeing if we're going to get this next leg higher. Now, like I've been saying with that pound dollar, if I go out to the daily chart, it's still not got much of a daily range as yet. It's still got certainly the potential to expand this daily range. So and that was one of the reasons why I quite liked the potential for the pound today, with that potential to run up certainly to 130. Whether it would go all the way to the daily 50 today or not, yeah, is debatable. But the potential was certainly to get there into the certainly into the 129.90s. So that's what we're waiting for. But it is 10 past 3, and so you always have to put everything into context when you're trading. The time of the day of the week. It's Friday afternoon, mid-afternoon now. It could slow down. It's possible, but I'll hold this over the weekend if that's the case. But hopefully we can still have another bit of another leg yet. But we'll press pause and we'll see what happens. Okay, so cable's getting up there, so we can now move those stops up a bit more. So if I can drag both the tickets over with those orders that are currently there, drag the other one over from the two positions. So I'm going to move those stops up. It's hardly a rush on it, but I'm going to move it up to 129.40. And now this is obviously very often a contentious issue, because lots of traders be like, well, why don't you move it up to 129.70 or bring it up to break even? Because I like to give trades a bit of room, and because just when you think, if I'm looking for more upside in this, if I'm looking to run this to 130.20 or 25, which could still take into next week, into Monday, then I need to be able to give it room. If I choke the trade and bring the stop up too soon, all that could happen is Monday morning it pulls back a little bit and then goes higher, in which time I've just got stopped out. So there's no point. So I'll move those stops up to 129.40. But the trade is very close to that first target. Let's just bring up the I can just bring up the P&Ls here. Forget the other trade there. That's just an existing euro trade. So the pound dollar positions here, we're very close to the first target. We've got the two entries, one at 60, the other one was at 65.9, and so that's where they're up. So we're up, whatever, £220 at the moment currently. So if it gets to the full target, it'll be about £350, I guess. Probably maybe a bit more than that, maybe 400 quid. Remember, the risk on it was just a little bit light, so when I took the trade, it was sat at I think the recommendation for the position size was 1.3 lots, and I put a 1 lot in because I don't tend to. On Saxo Bank, I just round to the closest either round number or half round number, so either a half lot or full lot. So that's what I tend to do. So the stops at least have been moved up. It's having a good run now. So we've got that. We're getting that expansion of the daily range there, like I've been talking about today. So we're getting that expansion. It's just a case of seeing, can it get that a bit further? And it's been, by the looks of things, it's probably been quite close to my target. Yes, it has. So it's not quite there. We've got the big round number. We've been to 129, and it's just a case of seeing, can it get to 129.90? I mean, can it get to 129.95? Even while I'm talking here, it's having a think about it. So back to the 5-minute chart. And but of course, once you start doing that sort of stuff and recording live as I am doing as it's moving, then what happens is it always ends up just going slow. It's almost like it knows you're recording it. So I'll press pause and we'll come back to this and see if it does get to the target. Mind you, it's getting close, isn't it? It's getting close. I'll press pause. Okay, just back, and we have just hit our first target. We just got up to that 129.95, as you can just see on the charts there. It just went through to about 29.96, and that was enough to hit my first target there at 129.95, just over 129.95 it filled me at. So a little bit of positive slippage there. So the second target is up at 130.20. So that's about another, from where we currently are, what is that? About another £100 on top. So yeah, so we're already up 203. I've predicted around about £350 or so if it gets to that second target today. So we've still got about 20 odd pips to go. So yeah, around about. I suspect. So it was never going to be a great risk reward because I risked about 30 pips initially. We've banked 35 on the first half, and the second entry was at 65. So and that's going to 130.20 if it can get there. So that would be 55 pips. So that's a better on the second half. So we'll see if it can get there, but. It's that daily 50 that I was looking to see if we can get to. We're right into those highs now, hence why I've banked the first half. Can it do an explosive move and break out to the daily 50 and or towards that? Like I said, I'll be looking to come out 130.20. That'll be enough, just a bit ahead of that there at 25. So we'll see. But as far as the trade's concerned now, with the stop up at 129.40, it may still get chance to move it up a bit more. It depends on what actually happens here this afternoon. But that, whatever happens, the trade is it can't turn negative, so to speak, now. Because of that first half has been banked, and so we'll just wait and see how this goes. It's 10 to 4 in the afternoon. I do want to get this video wrapped up because I've got another video recording to do yet for some of our members, so which I would like to get done in the early evening. So we will get this wrapped up at some point. So let's see if we can get a breakout. I'll press pause for now. What we're going to do is we're going to put a limit order in. I haven't actually got round to doing that, so let's put the limit order in for that second take profit. I don't know if it's going to get there now because of the time of the day. It's 7 minutes past 4, but we'll put the order in 30.20 and see if it gets there. I'll hold on to the video for the next 45 minutes or so. You never know, it could have a little breakout and a flurry, but at the same time, I think we have to look at it and say, well, are we running out of time and the market's just slow right down? So we'll see. I'll press pause. Okay, just back, and we're now only at 4:15. I said I'd hold off, but I want to get this. Takes a long time to upload a 22-minute video or so, so we're going to finish it up. So let's just bring back the P&L again for the day. And although I bring over the P&Ls when I do the live trading videos, always have done for years and years since I started doing them back in 2012, although I split them now with Kim. But the P&L is not important. You've got to remember, these live trading videos that we record are just done on a Friday, and it's a bit of fun to show what we're doing on the day and whatever. But generally speaking, you don't be a slave to your P&L. I do it because it's part and parcel of what people want to see. So, if the pound dollar does get up to the target at 130.20, I suspect we'll be at around about between 300 and 350 pounds profit. If it comes down, I can't lose. The stop's up at 129.40 now, which would be from this entry a 26 pip loss. But remember, I banked 35 pips on the first half, so I can't lose. Okay, so that's basically what's going to happen. I'm going to get this video uploaded and hopefully get it onto the YouTube site tonight, and so that's where we're at. Enjoy. Hopefully today's video has been of use to you. Lots of analysis in today's one, which is good. Gave you a lot of food for thought there, I think, today, and I'll see you next week.